The Championship Darts Corporation presents the Cosmo Darts Classic, coming to you live from Cambridge, Ontario.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us live for weekend number 2 on the road to the CDC Continental Cup Tour. From everything that it says on his social media page without talking to him in person. And I like the Star Wars aspect of his jersey. Technical difficulties here when we are remote, but we're going to bring you that coverage. I think, gotcha. Everyone else can too. It looks like we're getting the lag kind of figured out a little bit here, but we are going to be figuring that out as we get going here, AE. But it's good to have you, my friend. Good. Everyone else can too. It looks like we're getting the lag kind of figured out a little bit here, but we are be figuring that out as we get going here, AE. But it's good to have you, my friend.
Good to. That was just drivel. I had nothing good to say, so I'm glad nobody heard it. Great to be with you, Sean. Excited to open up weekend number 2 here. Event number 3, the Cosmo Darts Classic. It is the second all year long over the 6 weekends. Saturday at noon local CDC tournament with a little tournament. Yeah. So players must be ahead by 2 legs to win the contest. And then if they will spar another couple of legs, and if they get to a certain place that Sean and I will walk you through each round, there will be a sudden death. So some fun stuff with the Cosmo Darts Classic coming to you from Ontario. We see Excalibur, David Cameron, going to kick us off on a Canadian-heavy feature board here, and very appropriate as we are up in Ontario. So some cool stuff, Sean. It's going to be a really, take the turn here into summertime as we head towards the road to Philadelphia.
Yeah, I cannot wait for Philly. Of course, night 1 will be my, 28th birthday or something. That's what I'm going to call it. 29th birthday.
Something like that. So
yeah.
Give or take.
Give or take. While you guys are getting us all set up here, ready to go, just you can look around the venue, follow along with Dart Connect at any point in time. As you can see, Mr. I. Reed, our director extraordinaire, fixing, I'm going to guess the players are talking a little bit about an online situation here. So just trying to make sure everything is set, ready to go for the players. This is typical, AE, when we first have an event here. This is kind of just off and running. Once we get going, folks, you guys can throw in the complaints now, but just know in a little bit we will be bringing that full coverage. Right now, go ahead, buddy.
Don't you worry. Sunday will run completely smooth.
Something like that. So we have a must-win by 2 clear legs format here, AE. It's a best of 9, so a race to 5 format. Where is the tie-break leg?
In this round, the easy way to do it, folks, anytime you come across a CDC event, add 4 legs, and that'll be your tie break. So in this particular case, at best of 9, if it goes to 6-6, leg number 13 will be a sudden death. So as we progress in the quarters and semis, it'll be best of 11, so that would be at the 15th leg, and the final will be best of 13, so that would be at the 17th. So easy way to just do that. Add 4 extra legs, and that would be your sudden death threshold. All right, course through the final.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. the real time us working through the streaming aspect of it. Again, those of you that aren't listening, all right, I just want to let you know one more time. Our internet guy didn't show up until like 10 minutes ago when we were supposed to have him yesterday. Again, another one of those aspects of this that we have to handle. And AE and I are remote. We're in our comfortable homes in Indiana and Texas, respectively. So the fact that we can even bring you this technology and this coverage from internationally is pretty cool.
Absolutely.
And again, we'll get it going. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the chat now, and I'll try to handle the the brush fires that are the chat room right now. But we appreciate you being with us. We really, really, really do. And as as we've been saying, we'll get settled in. We'll get this thing kicked off. Cameron leading us off here on the feature board. We're also going to feature a certain 3-time world champion up third on this board. So
yes,
don't go anywhere.
Yeah, no matter what, we're not going to part with that one.
So let's talk about, Sean, a little bit more. Let's talk about the whole weekend. So we've got the Cosmo Darts Classic today, which is event number 3 on the road to the Continental Cup in Philadelphia. 3 of 16. So we've got 16 events over the course of the year. Tomorrow at 11 Eastern, we bring you the DJD Masters. That's event number 4. That will be the traditional knockout event, best of 9 into best of 13.
Yep.
So we've got 2 circuit events this weekend. So lots to play for. And then we've got the additional wrinkle, my friend, of essentially booking 2 spots at Madison Square Garden for the upcoming 2025 PDC U.S. Darts Masters and the PDC North American Darts Championship. So I'm gonna lay that out for a second, and then you can give us your reaction on it. So 2 things going on tonight. We will have a qualifier, an open qualifier. So you can also, if you're within driving distance and you still want to head in and play the qualifier, you have an open chance to make the stage at the U.S. Masters. So tonight at 6 o'clock local in on that event. At this point, I believe pre-registration, of course, is closed, so you can still register on site for a little bit extra, but you still have that chance. But the point being, tonight we will, somebody will book their place through the dartboard for a spot at MSG. That will be exclusively on Dart Connect, so there'll be no streaming on that. Qualifier will just be run on Dart Connect, so everybody can keep track of that, and CDC social media. So that will essentially fill the 7th spot, because currently we have as PDC tour card holders Matt Campbell, Danny Lauby, Jules Van Dongen, and Jim Long in. They are joined by the reigning Continental Cup champion Leonard Gates in the 5th spot. Adam Savata was your winner in the first qualifier in Niagara, so he took the 6th spot essentially. Tonight's qualifier will fill the 7th spot. And then when the dust settles this weekend, the 8th spot will be filled by the highest ranked non-qualified player on our order of merit, which currently the names to take note are Stowe Bunch with 200 points, David Cameron 170 points, Alex Spellman with 164. And that will round out the field. So on Monday, we'll know the 8 players that are playing in the U.S. Masters. So I know we're underway. Sean will give you a little bit on that order of merit, and let's get going playing some darts.
Yeah, excited to bring you that coverage. And the order of merit, the reason why it's not so cut and dry is just the fact that the players are also playing to retain points that are already established there on that order of merit, including some of those guys at the top. All 3 of those guys have some points that are up for grabs here this weekend. So it's going to make it very impossible for us to really work out that math without having the full info. So you will not hear us to person that is qualified for the U.S. Darts Masters until that is official Sunday evening or even Monday at that point in time. So, but yeah, off and running here. Curtis Jameson, David Cameron, Excalibur is getting rolling. 263 here after 9. We saw them warm up for quite a bit. And I will always say this, that David Cameron almost has a magic quality to his throw. And it's something that only that side angle can give you on his throw, because his elbow tucks in with every throw that he has. And it's something that only that side angle can give you on his throw, because his elbow tucks in with every throw that he has. There's that movement there. You can see it nice and clearly on the screen, that extra movement. However, not look like his arm moves at all. And it is 160 is on. A shot at that 160 checkout, but Cameron 140. It is on. Ooh, treble 18 was needed for dart 2.
111.
Does go at the bull on dart 3. So Curtis, an opportunity to break the throw right away of Excalibur. Very first CDC event here for Jameson, and tops
55.
does not go. Cameron makes it easy. Little 2-dart combination. Check out the 35 and 20. 1 for 1 on his doubles is David Cameron. 0 for 1 is Jameson. And that's the difference here in leg number 1. 1-0 lead.
35.
First to 5 legs must win by 2 clear. And we already have a couple of those big names moving through their top 64 matchups. Stowe Bunce defeats Nathan Humphreys 5-2. Leonard Gates 5-0 over Jack Robinson. And Dougie Boehm 5-1 victory over Kevin Ron. The one thing that I love the most about this streaming board today, folks, there's not an American
100.
on this streaming board. We won't see an American player until at least match number 8 on our streaming board, in the top 8 of this in the quarterfinals. So we have David Cameron taking on Curtis Jameson here. Then Tyler Reddy taking on Brady Noble. 3-time world champion John Part will be taking on
47.
Carlos Rivera. Carlos is from Puerto Rico, I believe. And then Rory Hansen taking on Rob Donnelly in that last matchup.
140.
What their country of origin or background
Yep.
are and stuff. So we need to look at some more info on Carlos, because to participate, you do need to fulfill the PDC regulations of being U.S. or Canadian certified. You know, sort of either residency or green cards or all that kind of good stuff. So, but you see that with a bunch of players, especially like in New
59.
York, you've got a lot of players that'll put like an Irish flag, and some of the players. I think Davey Main for a while might have had
Scottish. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. The
Yep.
Scottish flag, right?
43.
Yeah.
Yep. But of course, a Canadian citizen there. Looks like we are good to go there, AE, with whatever updates you made, my friend. And it's a 2-0 lead here for Cameron.
99.
Yeah, still working on some technical stuff. Oh, I'm gonna keep playing around.
Oh, that's fine. You do your thing. I will say this. Curtis is not really wilting under anything right this second. He's just a touch behind one of our best players on tour, and David Cameron, which is, going to happen to most.
100.
But yeah, if David Cameron averages or checks out 66% of his doubles, he's going to be tough to beat all day long. And the motivation
100.
will raise the level of play from the likes of a David Cameron, the likes of a Stowe Bunce, the likes of an Alex Spellman, those guys that are not yet qualified for the U.S.
100.
Darts Masters. That there's 2 spots remaining, and there's 3 guys that are, at least 3 guys that are going to be battling it out, of an Alex Spellman, those guys that are not yet qualified for the U.S.
100.
Darts Masters. That there's 2 spots remaining, and there's 3 guys that are, at least 3 guys that are going to be battling it out. Cameron made the final of the qualifier.
Are upwards of 24 players that can hit these astronomical averages that allow you to compete on a worldwide stage.
Double 9 here for Cameron. 0 for 4 so far in this leg on doubles. Yeah, and he'll return no matter what, so just splits it on the last to leave double 8. And after this leg, AE, I'm going to pose a question to you.
43.
Based off what we're witnessing this weekend at the Nordic Darts Masters going on currently.
Game shot.
And double 8 does go in for Cameron. But he was only 1 for 7 on doubles in that leg. Unfortunately for Curtis, 0 for 0 on those doubles. So when you give Cameron that many opportunities, it's not a
81.
easy opportunity to get some points on the board, or some legs on the board for sure. So my question for you, AE, the PDC guys swept the
123.
the hometown
they did.
team yesterday, 8-0.
Last
year,
which was a
course.
very talented,
Yes.
field on that
45.
quote unquote hometown side.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple last leg deciders, but 0 for 8 in there. So my question to you,
Quote unquote hometown side.
yeah, absolutely. A couple last leg deciders, but 0 for 8 in there. So my question to you is the North American.
We can hit. Matt Campbell just had an
95.
awesome European tour. Was it last weekend or the one before?
Yep.
And Adam Savada, we've seen him just go completely lights out.
85.
But they're playing against what's essentially the Premier League lineup. So it's you look for chinks in the armor of the field that's coming over, and it's like, even if, but they're playing against what's essentially the Premier League lineup. So it's you look for chinks in the armor of the field that's coming over, and it's like, even if we play at our utmost, it's still such a tough task. But I think our players have
58.
the experience now, have the poise and the ability to do it. So I'm going to stay optimistic, and I'm going to look for 2 wins with a possible 3rd.
24.
Like I'm gonna go that we bring it big time.
I like that, and I hope that we do. I think there's that treble 20 needed to go in to give a shot. Down 4-0 to Cameron. Here.
Game shot.
As double 4 does go in. He's only 4 for 14 on his doubles right now, but the problem is that Jameson's
100.
Yeah, Cameron is just
45.
just outscoring him enough that he's beating him to the punch on doubles.
It will be a 5-0 victory over Mr. Jameson. Double 5 needed now.
15.
Does he go up? He does go for it. Right.
He'll be back.
With Jameson at 186, would you consider busting that? But
95.
I guess being a 25, there's still a setup that needed to be thrown. So
He's going right at it. Wow.
Game shot in the
Yeah,
match.
he finds it on dart
There it
3.
is.
So he gets the job done. Ends up 5 for 19 on his doubles. Not bad, but it's a 5-0 victory for David Cameron. Our next match.
Sean and I will chat a little bit more until we get players up there. Jim Long. Sean and I will chat a little bit more until we get players up there. Jim Long, just see that I need
extra legs. So
see that I need.
extra legs. So
Yes,
when it says
sir.
5'4", Jim Long over Oliver Jones, it's just because they are now in those extra leg formats. 9. And 9. And his overall average is around a 60. His overall average is around a 65. So I'm actually going to give a little bit of a tip of the cap. 5. So I'm actually going to give a little bit of a tip of the cap to Reddy. 9. And his overall average is around a 65. So I'm actually going to give a little bit of a tip of the cap to Reddy to do well, even though I call him a kid. I don't know. When I got him as a blind draw partner, everyone was like, "Oh, that's a really good Canadian. You're gonna have fun." Not enough bandwidth to bring you the clearest image that you guys want to see and that we want to bring you, of course. Every once in a while, it comes down to what can the venue provide.
Times is just major smoothly, and by the end of today, you'll have forgotten any of these issues, and things will be running great, and we'll have a great stream to bring to you.
Well, I mean,
folks, by the end of Sunday, you'll be like, "Hey, this was great."
Yeah, folks, you just heard it there from AE. We are literally sending either single or married dads up on polls to try and get this accomplished for you.
A little bit of a pickle too. Why not?
43.
Let's just pull back the curtain. I am not on. I don't think I'm on Discord anymore.
You have to be because I can hear you.
No, but that's. I think that's because I'm now getting Nicholas. I'm getting VMix in my headphones.
It's because so when you change the input, you got to go back to those user settings on Discord, and just
66
voice and video, and then change your output device back to your headphones. But we'll worry about that after this leg's complete. If you can hear me and can hear you, you're good.
Hold on, I think I just fixed it. You got me on Discord?
I do.
Nope.
Yes, I do. And yeah, the wonderful Nick Deracier doing our scoring for us.
Watch, I just fixed it.